Alright, so the very first thing you're gonna need is Adobe Illustrator. After that, you're just gonna need a mouse, a keyboard, and a computer. Now, if you follow me over the last month and a half, you've seen that we've kind of went down the rabbit hole of making money with graphic design. Well, today, I've got a little money maker that I'm gonna show you exactly how to do, and that's actually drawing cartoons, like face portraits of people. Now, I've done these for people who wasn't rappers, people who didn't really have anything going on, but just seen that they were cool, and I was getting about $100 a pop doing them, right? So today, I wanna more so teach you how to do so, right? All right, and today, we're gonna actually use Kylie Jenner. Now, I'm gonna merge this with my asking famous people to repost my artwork type deal. So if you see this video, go on my Instagram. I'm gonna post this. Go on my Instagram and tag Kylie Jenner in this and see if she will repost or do anything with this. But anyway, that's what we're gonna use. Somebody with a simple face for the simple sake of this tutorial. So I'm simply gonna come over here, copy. I'm gonna make a new file, okay? And mine is always gonna be 10 inches by 10 inches. Boom. So now my document is created. All right, so now the very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste her in here. All right, and you see Kylie here, and we're gonna call this layer Kylie Jenner. All right, and we're also gonna lock this layer by pressing this lock over here. Okay, so we selected that little lock over here, and now we're gonna make a new layer, and we're gonna call this line art. Okay, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna come over here to your shape tool, and you're gonna right click it, and you're gonna do an ellipse, right? You're gonna come over here and make sure this is black, and then you're gonna simply just draw out an ellipse. Okay, now you're gonna press A. That's gonna bring up anchor point. That's gonna bring up your anchor point mode, right? So you're gonna select that anchor, and then you're gonna hold shift and select that anchor. You're gonna come over here to the convert, and you're gonna boom, convert those to a corner, and you're gonna see why that's necessary in a moment, right? And so now you can actually edit that to make it taller. I would actually rather it be a little thinner. And then I'm gonna select that. I'm gonna come over here to my brushes, open that, and then I'm gonna take this shape and drag it right into here. Now that's gonna bring up new dialogue right here, and it's gonna ask you to do a scatter brush or an art brush. You're just simply gonna hit art brush and hit OK. All right, and then that's gonna bring up the art brush options, and so you're just gonna hit OK, and then boom, you're done there. You have your brush created. So now with this line art layer selected, you can actually delete this out too if you want. We're gonna go ahead and start doing the outline of her face, right? So you're gonna select B to do your brush. And what I'm gonna also have you do is I'm gonna have you right click on the brush tool, and that's gonna bring up the brush tool options, right? That's gonna bring up the options, right? What this does is basically kind of keeps your strokes in line, because this is a lot easier to do if you have like an Apple Pencil or something of that sort. But since I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for anybody who has this at their disposal to make some money, then we're just gonna go ahead and use a mouse. And if you're gonna use a mouse, you're gonna want to tighten up the lines you make, and you'll see what I mean, right? But first, let me show you without it, right? That's it without it. If I was to make that smoother, you see how much smoother that line kind of comes out? So we're gonna bring that over to maybe this one notch, and then boom, we're good there, right? So now we're gonna start outlining this girl's face. All right, so you're gonna come here with a stroke, and I like that. And if you can see how imprecise this line is, then you'll see that boom, how precise they made it anyway, because of kind of the settings I made. And I actually want to bump this up a little bit. I want this to be a little thicker, so I'll go up to 2. I'll go up to 1.5 for the outline of her face. 1.5 points, right? And so we're just going to continue that process, right? I'm actually going to make this, since her hair is covering most of this, I got a lot of like leeway as far as what I can do, you know what I mean? We even gonna make her baby hairs and everything, so y'all stay tuned. All right, so we've got the overall actual shape of her head down. Now we're gonna go in with some details, right? So I'm gonna take her nose first, right? And I'm gonna bring this down to maybe just 1 pixel. right? Do the same thing here. Right, and even here I'm going to come way down on these because little lines like that don't need to be as defined. Okay, and then we're going to do the lips. Lips have always honestly been a struggle for me, and her lips are big, so we're going to make this a little bigger. No, you know what, I'm actually going to change this to a more even brush, right? Because you've seen with my brush it was kind of uneven on this side right here. I'm going to zoom in on that, but with a all even brush, you know, you can kind of do a mouth like that and, you know, it'll all be even. So let's turn off the Kylie layer to see how close we are so far. Still got a ways to go, and I might do her eyes with this same type of thing too. It just all depends on how it goes. All right, so we're also gonna do this eye, and then boom. So those are both really uneven, so I'm gonna select these both and select eye and kind of mimic this right here, and then boom, we have eyes. Now so far you're like, bro, this does not look like Kylie, and I agree. So we're gonna come down here more and maybe do some more things that kind of just line up with her face, more features, you know what I mean? Let's go ahead and close these lips. It's starting to look like Kylie now. Okay, now her eyebrows are actually going to be pretty easy to do because they're actually pointy like the brush we're going to use. So let me try to do an eyebrow of Kylie if this works. And don't worry about the hair or nothing right now. Don't worry about the hair or nothing right now. We're just trying to focus on getting the face done. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and get some eyelids done. And remember, we're gonna go back to the regular brush for this type of stuff. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I like that better. I like this. I like the kind of crescent, you know what I mean, type line here for the eyes. So, you know, it's starting to come along. It's starting to look like Kylie Jenner. So she has a thin little line that I see here. All right, so now that we got the eyes in place and even those little lines, this is starting to look like Kylie Jenner. All right, and so now we're at this process of the line art. So the next thing I'm gonna do before I go in with the details is I'm gonna try to mimic these eyelashes that she has. Now I could do this two ways. I could hit in and do the pencil tool and kind of, okay. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a new layer for the hair, and I'm gonna call it hair. Okay, and honestly, I can just come with my brush tool and do really whatever we want because this hair is kind of flowy, right? I think that's what it's called for girls, flowy. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. And once again, this doesn't have to be perfect because all the other details we're gonna fix or add on to. So we're just gonna kind of just do the general outline of her hair. And then we're gonna fill this whole thing black. Okay, and you can kind of see how it's coming along, right? So we see she got baby hairs and stuff right here. So we're gonna come here. Okay, and so boom, so far so good. All right, now the last few details, we're gonna go ahead and do the black part of her eyelid, or not eyelid. Yeah, we're gonna do the black, her pupil, sorry. So now you kind of see it's coming along, right? So now the fun part of this all, we're gonna go ahead and add some color. All right, so what we're gonna do first before we do all of that is we're gonna select everything on here. Remember, this layer at the bottom should be locked. This Kylie layer at the bottom should be locked. And so you're just gonna come over here to Object, Expand Appearance, and then do Object, and then what you're gonna do is come over here again and hit Expand, and then you're gonna have those check boxes selected, and then you're gonna hit OK. Right now, what you've just done is turned all of this into something that can be merged together, which is what we're gonna do with it. All right, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna come here, select everything, and then you're gonna hit over here on Pathfinder. If you don't have Pathfinder, you come to Windows, and then you come down to enable the Pathfinder, and it should come up right here. What that just did was make all my line art one. All right, so now all my line art is here on the line art section, and you can rename this color, and then you can drag it under line art. All right, so next what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add some color. So you're gonna press I with your eyedropper tool, and you're just gonna select an even part of her skin tone. I would say right here, maybe right here. And what I would do with the line art layer selected, I would come over here to shape, and I would just make a big shape, and I would drag this under the layers, and then select the two, and then hit on the Pathfinder trim. All right, now what that's gonna do is make it all one, but you're gonna come over here and hit ungroup, and then everything on the outside you're just gonna delete. Right now you're also gonna select like the hair or whatever's black, and then you're gonna come over here to select same, and you're gonna go ahead and go to fill color. You're gonna group it, hit group, and you're gonna scroll down here to find the color, right? And so what that's gonna do is put all the black layers in a group. You're gonna come over here, select this one, and then you're gonna lock that group. All right, now you're gonna come over here, select all the color. Now the color is the only thing selected. And you're gonna come over, and you're gonna come over here to your layers, hit shift, scroll down, and then drag this down to the color layer right here. All right, so now you have your color isolated and your line art isolated, right? You're gonna lock your line art because it's not really gonna move anymore. And now we're gonna start coloring, right? So we're gonna make the pupils white. All right, we're gonna do, what color are her eyes? Like hazel, I guess. So now I'm gonna teach you something. I'm gonna give you a bonus clip on how to do some cool things with the hair, right? So you're gonna come back here, right? And you're gonna make an ellipse just like I'm doing right here. I'm gonna compare that to like a gray, as far as, I know it's not actually gray, but as far as the way it looks gray. So I'm gonna try to mimic these highlights in her hair. So we're gonna do a gray or maybe even a dark blue here. So you're gonna come over here to your gradient. Right, and then boom, you're gonna do that and do the same process. You're gonna come over here, do that, and you're gonna make a brush out of this. We've got the hair done, and I could honestly tone this down a little bit, but I think that it kind of adds like a cool little look to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it, right? So y'all know what to do next. You would simply just import this in Photoshop. All right, so go to my Instagram, tag Kylie Jenner in this, and also if you like this video, man, subscribe for more, man. Love y'all, bro. Let's get it.